Okay, so earlier this week, I had a very interesting conversation with a friend who a couple of years back bought an Aston Martin. Now, clarification, I'm not referring to Bobby, although the story also somewhat applies to him. Now, the story is this. So my friend a couple of years ago bought an Aston Martin, and what has happened is that, well, whether directly or indirectly, the car has actually paid for itself. But how? Right? So what has happened is that his ownership of the Aston Martin has granted him access to the community of Aston Martin owners across Malaysia. And in that process of building relationships with them, building friendships with them, and I must emphasize this, without any hidden agenda, what it has led is that he has closed a number of 5 figures and 6 figure deals for his business, okay, by genuinely solving problems to people, for people. Now, I just want to emphasize one thing. If you are thinking that the message of this video is go buy a nice car so that you can mix with rich people and pitch them deals, you have also gotten me wrong, because that is not how it works. Rich people, high net worth people, they have seen and heard every pitch, every investment scheme out there. All right. So the fact that you just rolled up in a brand new Mercedes or BMW is not going to sway them so easily. But coming back to the story of my friend, number one, he could afford it. That is the most important thing. Buy something that you can afford. Number two, he genuinely wanted an Aston Martin. He genuinely wanted to experience what's it like to have a V12. So whenever he drives that car, it unlocks that inner joy in him. Whenever he looks at that car, it makes him happy. Whenever he speaks about that car, there is that different stress and tone to his voice that conveys unmistakable enthusiasm. And you can't fake that. No way, right? So the thing is, this quality of authenticity, of genuineness, this is what people bond over. This is what gets people to build relationships with you, to build trust with you. And when these people have a problem, that is when they remember that, so and so provides the solution to my current problem. I want to work with him. And from what I hear is that price doesn't even matter, because they have already established in their mindset you are the one who is able to solve their problem, and they want the solution much more than they want the money which your solution would cost. So what I'm getting at here is that sometimes a lot of us, we look at cars and we think about, oh, okay, it's just a mode of transport. It gets us from point A to point B. And some of us like to have this mindset of, yeah, just buy the cheapest car, right? Don't need so fancy. Let's put it this way. If you are of the mindset that a car is just a way to get you from point A to point B, then yes. I mean, you really don't need anything fancier than a Myvi, if that really is your mentality, right? But I have this belief that cars are a bit more than that. They are an expression of our personality. And I've also said this before, getting a good car, beyond just the networking opportunities, it is also an investment in your well-being. Because let's put it this way, the car is the environment where you spend the most time in after your home and your workplace. So if it is true that your environment affects your performance, impacts your performance, wouldn't it make sense to invest in your car? Doesn't have to be a Bentley or Rolls Royce, but at least invest in a car that makes you happy, that gives you joy, or that is just a bit more refined, so that you are able to travel between home and work in comfort, so that you are less fatigued when you arrive at work, so that you have that little bit more energy when you come home and face your kids. Okay, because every little bit makes a difference. But coming back to how the whole car and networking opportunity works. It's not about buying the most expensive car. It's not about arriving in luxury. You don't have to spend millions or even hundreds of thousands on a car to get yourself access to a high net worth network. Okay, I spent 24,000 ringgit on my 5 Series, and that car has paid me back multiple times over. So, but the important thing is this: you must start from a place of genuine interest, genuine excitement. You must really like and love that car before you go into it. Okay. Now, of course, what I've always been saying recently about balancing your loan, right? Taking care of resale value, all these are still important factors of consideration. But what I invite you to consider is that it's more than that. Your budget and what you can safely set aside for your loan or whatever, not right, determines the pool of cars that you can buy. But how you choose inside that pool, let's say like if you have worked out that you are able to afford 100,000, 150,000, 250,000 ringgit car, right? And you know that your finances are sufficiently sorted that you don't have to worry about the car's resale value, then yes, pick the best within that budget and pick something that you really like. Pick something that lights you up. Pick something that when you talk about it, there is that enthusiasm, there's that excitement, there is that energy that you can't fake. See, I mean, taking me as an example, nobody can fake the kind of energy, the enthusiasm, the excitement that I can manage when I talk about my BMW E39. No one. All right, because my excitement with that car is genuine, and I mean it. That even today, how many years has it been? 7 years owning that car, I still find new things in that car that blows my mind. Right? How crazy is that? How crazy is that? A 20-over-year-old car, I've had it for 7 years, and every day I drive that car with the same sense of excitement, the same sense of satisfaction, the same sense of enjoyment. Right? When I talk about that car, there is that energy in my voice that I cannot fake. Right? So, does this mean that I'll be driving my E39 forever? The answer is no. All right. I will, of course, as I progress in life, explore other cars, right? More expensive cars. But my enthusiasm for that E39 is it's genuine, all right? And that cannot be faked. And that genuine excitement was what opened many new friendships for me, was what opened many new networks for me. Okay. It's the same story with my friend who bought his Aston Martin, which opened up many opportunities for him. So the thing is, you don't have to start with a Ferrari or Aston Martin, right? But the thing is, of course, the higher up you go, the bigger the opportunities and the bigger the networks, the more quality networks that you can build. But you can start this thinking with at a smaller budget. All right. Things, I mean, if you are talking about like a Suzuki Swift Sport, for example, there is also a strong community of enthusiastic Swift Sport owners. Or if let's say like, or another sub 100K example, a BMW Z4. BMW Z4, also there is a very strong community of these cars, right? Mazda MX-5, Toyota 86, all these somewhat enthusiast, driven cars, that inspire a following, right? These are cars that are worth exploring. And as an added bonus, many of these cars, they hold their value, or rather they are at the bottom of their value curve. Like a BMW Z4 E85, for example, I do not see any future whereby you will get an E85 Z4 at a cheaper price than you would today. All right. Even E89 Z4s, I believe, are at the bottom of their depreciation curve. You buy into these cars, right? Yeah, you have to pay for their maintenance a bit, but at any time you liquidate them, you will get the money back. You will get back the money that you initially put in. And the friends that you build, the relationships that you build, throughout the course of owning these cars can potentially change your life. But as I say, as I insist and I repeat and I emphasize, start from being genuine with your intentions first. Start with a car that you can afford, a car that you genuinely like, you know, have that real interest in that car. And then from there, you will attract like minded people to bond with you, all right, to connect with you, to build relationships with, okay, and together enrich each other's lives. It may not be a monetary transaction, but it may be a relationship of mutual improvement. Okay, let's say, I mean, it could be like, for example, okay, today you meet someone, you start off with a BMW E39, right? And you meet someone in an E39 WhatsApp group, and together you inspire each other. Say, oh, okay, wow, now I E39. Okay, next I'm going to move up to F. All right, then after together you all move to G30, you move to 8 series, and so on and so. Maybe then at one point in time, maybe both of you decide to jump into a Mercedes or maybe jump into a Porsche. Mutually inspire each other to progress in life. All right. So consider that. Consider how a car sometimes is more than just a mode of transport. All right. It is an expression of our personality, and also sometimes it opens up doors that we cannot imagine. Okay. So that's it from me today's video. Let me know in the comment section below, what is the car that you have or the car that you once bought, and the kind of new friendships that it opened up for you. Okay, let me know in the comment section below. And of course, if you need personalized help to budget the purchase of your car, do check out the link in the description section below. I have developed a new AI that helps you plan the budgeting of your car based on your income, so that you don't end up in a situation where if you have to sell the car, you have to top up money to the bank. Okay, so that's it from me today. Until my next video, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.